Hi, so it's late at night. I'm in my pajamas, but yeah, we had a message at church that I think will bless others, and it softened my heart up to um, facing suffering, facing the suffering that I'm facing right now. In terms of me, I feel like I've been walking through the last 5 years of just depression, anxiety, fear, all that sort of stuff. Um, yeah, but today really opened my eyes up even more to see that we serve a God who suffers for us. And it also just opened my eyes up to the humanity of Christ. So the passage is John 12 from 23 to 28. So it says, Jesus answered, this is after Christ has rode in on the donkey. Jesus answered them, the hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Truly I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Whoever loves his life loses it. Whoever hates his life in this world will keep it for eternal life. If anyone serves me, he must follow me. Where I am, there will my servant be also. If anyone serves me, the Father will honor him. Now my soul is troubled. What shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this purpose I have come to this hour. Father, glorify your name. And so we're given this picture of Christ riding in on the donkey, and he says, the hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. People would have thought, oh, he's going to break Roman rule and Roman oppression, but he's talking about the manner of his death in John 12, where he says, truly I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. And so he's talking about his death and I guess, and the result that will come after that, or the good things that will come after that. But the thing that really exposes the humanity of Christ is verse 27, because he says, now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this purpose I have come to this hour. Father, glorify your name. And so, just to say that Christ wasn't exempt from feeling the discomfort and the desire to escape suffering that we all have, where as soon as something hard comes up, as soon as we're walking through the same thing after thing after thing after thing, and we're feeling, I guess, like the weight of it all, and we're just like, man, Lord, take this away from me. Christ wasn't exempt from that, and he shows us a model of how to walk through it. In James 1, it says to count it all a joy when you face trials and tribulations, knowing that going through that will produce steadfastness, and let steadfastness take its effect so that you'll be lacking nothing. And I always had the picture in my head, a bunch of people frolicking through the fields and swinging their arms, and like, it's never been that image has never really worked for me, because when I face suffering, it's like it's a lot of tears, it's a lot of prayer, it's a lot of, I don't know, pressure on the mind, pressure on the head. But I believe Christ gives us an example of what it actually looks like to count it all as a joy. Because his response to that inner feeling of that desire to escape is, Father, glorify your name. And so, Father, glorify your name, whether you're going to take me out of the suffering that I'm in, or Father, glorify your name, even if you keep me in the suffering that I'm going through. And I think the reason why he's able to count it all a joy in this is because he knows that his death will bear much fruit. And it's also important to note that in verse 26 he says, if anyone serves me, he must follow me, and where I am, there my servant will be also. If anyone serves me, the Father will honor him. And so what does that mean? It means that if we're going to follow Christ and walk with Christ, we shouldn't, believe in the lie that we won't ever experience suffering. We will most likely experience suffering. However, there's a reward to facing suffering, because it says, if anyone serves me, the Father will honor him. And even more so than that, in James 1, it also says in verse 12, blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life which God has promised to those who love him. And so I say all that to remind you that there is a reward to walking through this suffering. Even if it hurts right now, there is a reward to it. It's not empty. It doesn't mean nothing. I also say all this to remind you that we have a God who understands. Jesus understood what it means to suffer, even more so than I thought I knew. I mean, yes, you have the time where he's sweating blood in Gethsemane, feeling the real pressure and the weight of it all. But he even had the desire to escape. And so it means that actually when I face suffering and I have the desire to escape, and yet I walk through it, I'm not defective for feeling that way. There's not something wrong with me for not enjoying suffering, but there is great reward, and the Father's name is glorified through walking through suffering, whether you're saved out of it or not. And so, this video is more just a reminder that we serve a God who suffered and who suffers. This is a reminder that we serve a God who suffered. We serve a God who knows what it is to suffer, and ultimately he died on the cross so that we could have life. And whatever you're suffering with, know that actually it's not empty, it's not vain, that there is a reward to it. Know that if anyone serves Christ, him, the Father will honor him. Know that, as it says in James 1 verse 12, blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life which God has promised to those who love him. Keep those verses in your heart so that they can encourage you when you walk through suffering. And also remember that you have a God who experienced suffering too, and he walks alongside you. He's not distant, he's not far away. Yeah. And so that's pretty much the message. And I hope that encourages you as you walk through suffering. Yeah. God bless.